Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard has a new battle on her hands.
She is being evicted for not paying her rent, and now her landlord is talking about her past tenant troubles.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Tima, Bay Area music! Assuming that today is your day off work, you want to watch something on Netflix. And the show you come across is called Dusty and Dolton. It's about a mayor who lives in the city and is also a Thornton Township supervisor. She makes well over $275,000 a year. Outside of stealing money, she steals people's husbands while also getting her cheeks clapped consistently. She also spends all the town's money on getting weaves, sandals, candles, and everything else. But then, stop the show. She finds a way to get evicted, although her rent is only $24 a month. And get this, her boyfriend makes $100,000 a year. You would think that only Hollywood scriptwriters could write this. Right? Wrong! This is real life! Rewind! Fortunately, this is the story of Tiffany Henyard in the city of Dolton. Now, as you know, she also has a position in Thornton Township, and she is the supervisor of Thornton Township, which pretty much includes about 17 or 18 other cities inside of this township. Now, the issue is that Tiffany Henyard has a few problems going on in the township. One of the problems is that the trustees don't want to come to the meetings that they have twice a month because of safety concerns.
Safety concerns at Thornton Township board meetings, keeping some trustees at home.
At the last meeting, which was 2 weeks ago, there was an incident where people during public comment weren't able to finish what they had to say, and there was altercations going on.
So now when she comes to the meetings, it's not a lot of people there, which means that, well, if you don't have the trustees at the meetings, they're most likely going to be canceled. Now remember that in particular part, because we're going to come back to that. At the same time, Tiffany Henyard allegedly had some issues going on with her landlord.
Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard has a new crisis on her hands. She's being booted out of her home. Fox 32 has obtained copies of an eviction notice filed in Cook County Court against Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods. Henyard has been renting a home in the 14600 block of South Harvard for the past 3 years, but the owner of the home told us Henyard and Woods are behind on the rent and owe more than $3,300. The notice also says Henyard has refused to allow an inspection of that property. Now, we reached out to her attorney, who texted back that he believes the story is false and that no rent payment was ever missed.
Now, as you can hear, the landlord at the time did not want to comment on the situation, and Tiffany Henyard didn't comment on the situation. And most likely the reason why is the landlord was like, listen, well, I don't really want to comment on it because I need the money. Maybe she might pay my money, so I don't want to mess things up. And stop the show. We all know people like that, right? They owe us money and we want our money back, so we don't want to put them on blast, because we put them on blast, they're never going to pay us our damn money that they owe us. Isn't that a shame that you have to loan people money and go around and walk around and look for your damn money back, the money that they said they was going to pay you back? Well, that's exactly what happened in this situation, because the landlord got tired of waiting for her money. So she showed up at the Thornton Township meeting, but there was one issue.
We talked to Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she says she's owed.
We do not have a quorum, so we will not be having a board meeting this evening.
With Thornton Township's board meeting canceled, Janetta Hull will have to find another way to serve an eviction notice to Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, also Dolton's mayor.
So now I have to pay a special process service in order to get them served, which is more fees for me.
Hull says she leased this home to Henyard and her boyfriend in 2021. She says the last payment came in August. She filed eviction papers last month. She says she's now owed $5,000 in back rent plus late fees. She says the couple was a no-show for a Zoom hearing Tuesday morning.
The sheriff's been out here a few times to serve them. For a household that makes, over $350,000 a year, I'm asking for pennies.
It's true. Tiffany Henyard does make a lot of money. In fact, as Thornton Township supervisor, she makes this much money.
Anthony and Natalie, she makes a whopping $224,000 a year.
So the issue is, why can't Tiffany Henyard pay the money? Well, Tiffany Henyard had this problem a long time ago. I'm not gonna waste your time by paying the clip, but in 2017, when she was just a trustee, she got accused herself of being a slum landlord. So she basically had a tenant, didn't fix the house up on Section 8. She was receiving money from the village of Dolton as a landlord, as well as the tenant, and she was getting this money and was not paying the rent. But stop the show. There's something else I want to talk about.
I gave them 48 hours notice. And then I also texted them about 15 minutes before I got here. So there's a code on the garage, and then there's locks on the front door that were changed.
In a statement, an attorney for Tiffany Henyard told NBC5 no comment at this time. Hull says she regrets renting to the couple.
I don't think the money is worth it. The cash up front is not worth it. I would have rather rented to someone who, is an honest person and goes to work every day and works hard.
See, you heard the landlord say that she took some cash up front. Now, this is interesting because if you have to pay cash up front to rent an apartment, what does that indicate? It indicates that you have, I'm gonna say it, messed up credit, okay? You can't pay your bills. So this is why if you want to get into military, typically Air Force or good jobs, usually what do? They run your credit, because running your credit tells a company or staff or any individual about your honesty and you're willing to be responsible with money, which is what people should have considered before making somebody like this Thornton Township supervisor or Dolton Village Mayor or the Village of Dolton Mayor. You guys didn't consider this, and this is the person that's irresponsible when she's making over $274,000 a year. The boyfriend who worked for Thornton Township makes over $100,000 a year. I've done videos in which she's helped him acquire real estate and all kind of wealth, and they can't pay their rent. Well, because a person that can't pay their rent can't manage any budget of any kind, and she goes around as if people are hating on her when she's fiscally irresponsible. But we already knew that. Want to know who's the most irresponsible? The people who understood that and then got behind her and made her the mayor. And again, we keep coming with this whole ideology that people, because they're cool, because they're black, because, we align with them and they have that ghetto swag, that they should be our leaders. And I'm not saying that people can't have swag and be good leaders. They would need to have a history of being responsible. And guys, we just don't see a history of Tiffany Henyard being responsible. She can't even be responsible for her own money. Damn sure it can't be responsible for the village of Dolton. Stop the show, which we've seen her destroy that. And then Thornton Township, stop the show, and we've seen her destroy that. And then you have people silly enough to sit there and be like, oh, well, y'all need to stop hating on her. She doing her thing. She's a strong black woman. No, well, this one is a broke black woman, obviously. Yeah, really broke, even after getting rich. And for some people, it don't matter how much money you give them, they're gonna find a way to be broke. And then you have a black woman who's a homeowner that might go into foreclosure because $2,400 a month is a lot of money to pay. So she has to pay the mortgage out of her own money when she's renting the house to the mayor and supervisor who should be able to pay that. Now another black woman who does have good credit is at risk of basically not being able to pay her mortgage for a home that she owns. And not only that, you've changed the locks on the particular garage, you've changed the locks, passcodes, where she can't even get in, and you refuse to go after being evicted. Dusty in Dolton. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Yoshi Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.